Today we're going to dive into the exciting world of chemistry and explore the fascinating reactions between acids and alkalines. Acids and alkalines are substances with unique properties, and their reactions can produce some amazing results. You might already know that they can change the color of litmus paper, but there's so much more that they can do.
Really? Like what?
When citric acid and baking soda react, they produce gas that can launch a small rocket and carbon dioxide that can extinguish a small flame. Today we're going to do a few experiments to investigate how this happens.
The first experiment, let's build a rocket. This is the material required.
First, we set up as the diagram. Next, we plug the smaller straw filled with baking soda into the bigger straw containing citric acid. Now we can finally get started on the experiment. After many failures, we realized something. Apparently, the foam bit has to be pushed into the bigger straw securely. The tighter, the better.
Wow! How does this happen?
This is because the CO2 generated inside the straw increases the pressure. Once the foam is pushed out, the pressure generates the energy to launch the rocket.
Now I look forward for the second experiment. Can we start the second experiment now?
Yes, of course. Now, let's get started on the second experiment, which simulates a fire extinguisher. Let's get started. Before shaking the bottle, we have to ensure that the tube is sealed tightly and ensure that no air can leak out. Now let's point the tube towards the candle and see what happens.
Wow! It really works! I understand that carbon dioxide can extinguish a fire, but how can it happen?
Carbon dioxide gas can put out fires because it acts as a fire suppressant through several mechanisms. Fire requires oxygen to sustain combustion. CO2 is denser than air and can displace the oxygen around the fire, reducing the concentration of oxygen below the level needed to maintain the fire. When CO2 is released from a fire extinguisher, it expands rapidly and cools, absorbing the heat from the fire and the surrounding air. This cooling effect helps to reduce the temperature of the fire, slowing down the combustion process. CO2 forms a blanket over the fire, cutting off the supply of oxygen, and thus smothering the flames.
Oh, I see. It seems like both the pressure and fire being extinguished are a result of carbon dioxide being generated. But where does the carbon dioxide come from?
Good question. Let's summarize today's experiment. When citric acid reacts with baking soda, the reaction produces sodium citrate, water, and carbon dioxide. This is how CO2 is generated, which also provides the energy for our rocket and helps extinguish the candle.
Thank you and enjoy!